All right, class. I'm not really feeling it today, so y'all are going to get into groups and discuss these questions while I take a nap.
That's easy. The Compromise of 1850 used bargaining and self-interest to cause peace between the northern and southern regions of the United States. None of the provisions opposed by the bill were favored by both parties. However, they tolerated the undesirable aspects due to being granted something else that was desired. Additionally, the Kansas and Nebraska Act, which was put into place in order to incorporate a northwest route for the Intercontinental Railroad, was successful in maintaining the balance between free and slave states. However, with the good intentions the act had, it did nothing but cause negative consequences.
I got that. The passage of the Fugitive Slave Act outraged the North and caused intensified sectional conflicts as northern mobs and state legislatures prevented the enforcement of this act. The fact that slavery in Kansas is determined by popular sovereignty caused many guerrilla, however you pronounce that, conflicts known as Bleeding Kansas.
During the era where ideas of manifest destiny influenced people across the America, expansion was inexorable. The newly acquired land accommodated the increasing population, allowed for the creation of more farmable land, and created space for a booming industry. Although the expansion had great economic impacts, along with it came many negative things, such as the inhumane treatment and removal of Native Americans. While constantly displacing these people was ethically wrong, America even hurt itself during the expansion by creating divides within the nation over the inclusion of slave or free states. The controversy of slavery within America was exacerbated through territorial expansion and increased tensions to a point leading towards the Civil War. The apologist viewpoint was that of white Southerners and claimed slavery was a positive good because it benefited not only the Southern economy but slaves themselves, while the abolitionist viewpoint was more popular in the North and stated that slavery was a moral evil and should be eliminated.
The location of railroad cities and track is a factor that contributed to the increasingly emotional debate over the extension of slavery into territories. The South wanted to build railroads in slave cities, such as New Orleans, and the North wanted to build railroads in free territories, like Chicago.
The majority of early Americans viewed American expansion as necessary in order to proliferate Republican ideals of freedom and liberty in the rest of the world. Some also contended that American superiority was a strong reason for expansion, similar to what has been seen in Europe in the past. However, a few influential figures like Henry Clay contested manifest destiny ideals because of the possible divides they may invite into America, such as controversies over free and slave states. America mainly acquired land through purchases like those from the Native Americans and the Louisiana Purchase, as well as treaties made with Mexico, Britain, and Native Americans. Overall, although there was some reason to American expansion, conflict undoubtedly resulted from the enthusiastic growth, and events like the Civil War and Mexican-American War will forever shape America because of it.
The Democratic Party was mainly having issues on their stance when it came to slavery. It was divided due to the fact that Southern Democrats were for slavery, meanwhile the Northerners were against it. They couldn't come to an agreement at both of the Democratic conventions, which were held in April to May of 1860 and June of 1860. Meanwhile, most of the Republican Party preferred to abolish slavery. The Democrats had elected John C. Breckinridge and Stephen A. Douglas to run for presidency. The Republicans had selected Abraham Lincoln. There was also the Constitutional Union, which had elected John Bell to be a candidate. The results of the election of 1860 was that Lincoln had defeated Breckinridge, Douglas, and Bell. Due to Lincoln's victory, 7 states had seceded the Union, with South Carolina leading the secession. The election of 1860 was one of the major elections in U.S. history due to the issue of slavery at the time, and it also set up the two-part system that we have today with the Democrats and Republicans.
The bell is wrong! Get out!